call me what you will. I snuck a photo. I took a photo of a guy working out in the gym. This guy's paralyzed from the waist down. His upper body is pretty strong. His lower body is like, he's been paralyzed for a while. Yeah. He's got the really, really skinny legs.
Yeah, there's nothing he can do about it.
There's nothing he can do about it, right?
There's literally nothing.
And there's a thing with paralyzed people where they get a little bit of a gut. And I don't know, like, I don't think it has anything to do with fitness or health. I think it has something to do with the paralysis where they just get a little bit of a gut, right?
Yeah, it's because that stuff is not attached to their spinal cord and they can't work it because, like, when you do...
Yeah, he can't do ab workouts. Right.
Well, you can do ab workouts, but you can't do, like, I do flippers. So I lay on my back, put my hands under my butt, and I do flippers. And, you know, obviously you can't do that. That works your lower ab muscles, and they just become dormant.
Right.
You know.
And so, but the guy's chest and upper body, like,
so he's
working what he can.
He's yoked.
He's not yoked, but he's working what he can, right?
Yeah.
And so,
and first off, let me just say, like, for anyone that is in a wheelchair and you see them at the gym, like, dude, mad props.
Right.
Because you know that everything that they do is harder.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like you have mad respect for them.
And
like,
so,
dude, get after it, bro.
I snuck a photo of this guy. I shared it. Like, this dude's out here busting his ass in the gym. What's your excuse? Like, this guy literally has no fucking legs.
Yeah.
I mean, they're there, but he's dragging those around too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he's kicking ass and taking names.
And so a couple of people were inspired by it. A couple of people were, you know, doing the whole, like, oh, you shouldn't be taking photos of people in the gym, and, you know, you can find something wrong with everything,
creep.
right? Yeah,
you fucking creep.
Yeah,
hey, that's two. I'm sorry, Austin. Write it down,
dude. The name of the show is Leadership versus Leader Shit. I mean, it's in the title.
No, I told Austin I would try to do better. So at 24 minutes, I've got 2 F-bombs. And I'm keeping track.
All right.
So
and then one guy reached out to me. He's a buddy of mine. He was actually at the Tradewinds event. And he commented or reached out. I can't remember if he commented or sent me a DM, and he said, I'm not in the gym because I'm morbidly obese and I physically can't work out. And I just got real with him right off the get-go. And I said, dude, I would not recommend you work out. Like, you've got months of dieting before it's even safe for you to work out. Like, you got to hit
the treadmill. Like, you got to walk.
No.
On the treadmill and diet, and that's like the extent of your workout.
No, when you're that obese, even walking can be dangerous, right? And I'm not knocking this guy at all. Like, I'm talking about the logical like, everyone's path is different. And when you're that obese, like, you're going to wear your knees and your ankles out just trying to lose weight. But here's the benefit. When you're that obese, you don't need to work out to lose weight. It's literally calorie deficit, calories in versus calorie out. Lose 100 pounds first and then go. And this guy, again, I'm not knocking him. He's got the 100 to lose, right? He's probably got 200 to lose. And so.
Was that the Tradewinds event?
Yeah. And so it's like, go lose 100 first just with diet alone. And then start focusing on exercise. But right now, like, that would be like me going to the gym with an extra 200 pounds on my back. And okay, the cardio is going to be great, but I mean, I'm just killing my knees and my ankles, and
you're beating yourself to death.
I'm just beating myself to death when I don't need to. When you're that overweight, diet's all you need, right?
Yeah.
For the start. And so he and I got real with it and everything else, and we chopped it up a little bit, and that's where it went, right? Ironically, yesterday at the gym, I see the paralyzed guy again. Usually I only see him on Saturdays because I go into the gym a little later on Saturdays. And usually I only see him on Saturdays. But
you still going to P-Fit?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And so I saw him on Monday, and I'm like, that's pretty wild. Well, usually we're across the gym from each other or whatever, no big deal. We ended up on the same cable machine right next to each other. You know, the 4-sided cable machines?
No.
And, well, okay. So they got 4-sided cable machines.
I just got free weights at my house.
Yeah, they got 4-sided cable machines, and we ended up on the cable machines right next to each other. And so we happened to, you know, I'm in my head going, mad props to this dude. You know, he's over there doing lat pull downs on this cable machine. Yeah. And he's got a helper that helps him get into the seat, and then he's got that helper will help pull the cable machine down to him.
Yeah, so he can get it.
Yeah, because it's not like he can stand up and grab it.
Yeah, he can't grab it. Yeah.
And so he's doing his
That's
set.
what I meant earlier, like mad props, because just to even get to that perspective, or that position, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, it takes like 3 times the amount of work the rest of us got to do.
And so
had props.
His helpers. Hey, if you like what you're hearing on The Void and you want even more info, we just started a mentorship program specifically for trades professionals to start their business or to get their business to an incredibly healthy position. So if you'd like more info, click on the link in the description of this show. You know, helping them get in there and everything else. But then whenever it comes to moving the weight, the helper's like, fuck you, pull it. This is you, right?
Get it, bro.
Right. I helped you get into the thing because you physically can't.
Look at him and he's like, hey, dude, no, come on, let's go.
And so he rips through a set and he gets all done. And I looked over at him and pulled an earbud out and I'm like, mad props, man. And I gave him a fist bump and he says, thank you, you know? And, but that's true leadership, right? True leadership.
The guy wasn't helping him.
Yeah. You got to do for them what you need to, but then you're making them go through the struggles all on their own.
Right.
There's another leader, they're actually in Apex, and they were telling a story about how one of their clients, they were doing personal training with another paralyzed person. And one of their clients was trying to use their paralysis as like an excuse. So the guy's like, go over to the rack, grab some free weights, and we're going to do some curls. And the guy says, well, can you go grab the weights for me? And the guy says, no, get in your own chair, roll over there, grab the weights, come back. And the client got all pissed off at first.
Really?
And like they had to have this like heated heart-to-heart discussion where the personal trainer, like the client was like, dude, I'm paralyzed. Like I can only do so much. And the trainer, and he's teaching this to the group, he's like, you're paralyzed. You're not lazy and you're not lame. I have to get up and walk over to grab the weights. You can get in your chair and roll over. I'm not helping you at all by going to get your weights. Who's going to turn the light switch on for you in the house? You. You got to get in your chair and roll over to the light switch. Who's going to get your ass in the bathtub? You. You got to get your chair next to the tub and hoist yourself over.
Yeah.
Like there are plenty of occurrences where, yes, you have a different path than we do because you're paralyzed. However, you need to get over the fact that somebody's going to do things for you because you're paralyzed. Like you got to figure that shit out on your own. Right.
Yeah.
And ever since then, they have an amazing relationship. The guy trusts him wholeheartedly. And now the guy appreciates that he challenged him like that. Right. And that's the funny thing about leaders.
Well, that's the thing with leadership, right? Like it is, people don't realize that it is difficult to look someone in the eye and say, no, you have to do this. Like it's very difficult. I mean, it just is. It's like when you're raising kids and I have to tell my daughter, no, I'm not doing that. Go do it yourself. And she looks at me and stomps off and is all mad. Like it breaks my heart every time. Right. And you know what I mean? Because I want to literally give her everything.
Right.
But I know that if I do, she's not going to be a great human.
Right.
Like, and it is difficult to look someone in the face and challenge them and say, hey, you've got to do it on your own.
Yeah.
I've given you the skills to do it. Now get after it. Like there's nothing I can do. If you don't do it for yourself, you're not going to grow. You're not going to be better. You're not going to overcome.
Yeah.
Like it's a difficult thing to do. I will say, like, after you've learned to do it, like it kind of becomes a natural, like leaders aren't born, they're built, you know, like after you kind of learn and know how to handle those situations, it does become easier. Like now when she looks at me and gives me the finger, just kidding. Yeah. Like, it's easier for me. But that's part of the struggle, right?
It's a perspective shift. When you're young in leadership, you think the job, when you're young in leadership, you think the job is to do things for others and show them the way. When you're senior in leadership, you know the job is to prepare others for success. And doing the job for them does not prepare them for anything, right?
Of course.
And so there's a video. So this was back, I think this video was probably before TikTok. I need to get the video and get it to Austin and have him like prep it up for a short because it's awesome.
What is it?
My youngest son, Grant, is trying to make a bowl of cereal and he's having a meltdown. He's like 6 years old, 5 years old or something like that. And he's having this big old meltdown and he wants me to make him his own bowl of cereal. And I'm like, no. Well, he starts throwing this big old fit, and he like Grant does really good.
First off, I can see that.
Yeah, and so Grant is really good about talking through his frustrations, and so.
Yeah, he'll speak it out.
I grab my phone and I just start recording him. I'm standing there in my kitchen and I'm just recording him as he's having this meltdown. And he's like, "It's your job to do things for me. You have to show me how." And like I've shown him how before, but I never like made him do it. And this was where I put my foot in the ground and I'm like, "Dude, you're 6. You can make your own fucking bowl of cereal."